sleep? Did you have a good sleep? I'm surprised she didn't get out of the bed. She will now. Mother Earth shining down on us this morning. Do you know how rare it is that we've had so many sunny days in a row? It's crazy. I'm positively thrilled. And we are intentionally filming this video with the sunrise because there's so many mornings that we film in the dark and I don't want it. I want sunshine. Except it looks kind of windy out there. It's going to be a brisk, breezy walk this morning. But alas, we make it work. Now, even though I'm very well rested this morning, I am actually feeling quite sleepy. It's a pre-workout day. Got a fresh tub of my succulent Patty's iced tea from Gorilla Mode, and I am going to... Oh no, I forgot. I need to find the scoop, sorry. Yeah, listen, on mornings when I'm going straight to my workout, I do like to have a little pre-workout before the magic happens. And if you guys, I'm also going to add my creatine. There is some creatine in the pre-workout, but never enough. Now, if you may or may not have seen, we have officially announced the program 3.0, the program volume 3. So I thought it would be fun today to, like, it hasn't started yet, obviously. This is your last opportunity to sign up if you wanted to join us for the program in 2026. It's the only one that we're doing this year. And we're really excited about it because it is longer. It's the longest one we've done yet. The last two we did were 8 weeks. This one is 12 weeks, which we'll talk more about later. But it hasn't started yet, but I wanted to kind of take you through a day in the life of the program, aka just like my normal day, but a few tips and tricks along the way. So we're going to start with our workout this morning. We're going into the cold garage, which is why I'm still just like this. But I need to have a moment. I always like to take a moment to drink this. If we're driving to the gym, that is then my zen time to drink this. But when we're working out at home, we're gonna have a moment and enjoy the sunshine and drink our pre-workout together. You made it, Meryl. You know, I instinctively grabbed my phone, but I forgot that at this time of the morning, I'm still blocked. All my apps. See you later. Oh, Instagram? No, you have no access to that, which is great. I have to say, our little Bloom card has been a blessing, especially in these morning hours, because it's so crazy that I sit here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to drink my pre-workout, and I immediately go to grab my phone and scroll. And when I can't, it just like makes you have such a peaceful, kind of more calm morning. And I sit here and I have to reflect on life's purpose and the questions of the universe. And me and Meryl just sit and hang out. And you kind of just, you know what it feels like? Your days are longer. And that's nice. Like you kind of, oh my God, this is like way too reflective for the morning, but this is what it does to you. You reflect on life. But I feel like I experience time more slowly. It's nice. You know what? I haven't had my caffeine yet. We'll just... But yeah, consider the app blocker. I can't express to you enough how much it's like changed my mornings. It's been so great. Is this what meditation feels like? Now you might think this is dramatic, but part of the reason why it's so hard for me to get myself up to doing a workout in the morning is because it's so cold in the garage. And this is why I love working out at the gym, because I can just stay in my warm car the whole time. Yeah, I go into the gym and it's not freezing, and it's hardly freezing, okay? But it's still just, it's cold. So, welcome to the garage. And, it is the garage. So yeah, it's chilly, but that's what we have heaters for. So it's fine. Regardless of where you're doing your workout, just make sure that you're doing what you can to get your workout in. I personally prefer working out in the morning. Everyone's lifestyles are different. Everyone's job schedules are different. It depends on what your life looks like. But I prefer to get my workout done in the morning because if I don't, especially if it's leg day, I dread it all day long. I will be sitting there staring at the clock being like, okay, I gotta work out. And then I have to like hype myself up. I don't want to have caffeine right before bed. So I will do an evening workout if I have to. And there are many days where I have to. But if it's preference we're talking about, I like to do my workout first thing, get it out of the way so that the rest of my day is easy. It's like the hardest part of your day, to get up and psych yourself out to like move your body. But when you do, you feel so much better for it. And it's done. And the rest of the day is like, pardon me while I'm literally heating up my gloves. Gloves are great for grip and preventing calluses, but also when it's cold, it's very nice to have that as an option. So just gonna, you guys are gonna be like, what a whiny boo-boo. Anyway, I wanted to mention briefly like why I started DIY Body in the first place, because technically I was doing my own workouts and being somewhat, or what I thought was consistent with it. But it basically got to a point where I was doing my own workouts for about a year, I'd say, before I signed up to DIY Body. But what was really exciting to me when Dan actually sent me the photo, he's the one who sent me their Instagram page, and I was like, yep, I'm doing it, I'm signing up. It was definitely an investment. It was expensive, and I'm really grateful to Don, because by us doing this like program package, he's offering a huge discount to what he normally charges his clients. So it's very, very sweet of him to be doing that and offering it. But Dan and I had both looked at it as an option that was far more reasonable than both of us getting a personal trainer. Because if you go to any gym and look at a personal trainer, they're going to be charging about $100, $150 an hour. That was just not feasible for us to be spending that kind of money. So it's in the name, DIY Body, do it yourself. But kind of having the advice and the expertise from the coach was something that was a lot more feasible for us. And I love having the app, and I love having all the information, and then having the coach's guidance and kind of someone to hold you accountable for keeping up with your workouts. It's amazing. And then obviously doing like the 12-week program is kind of set up like a challenge where you're all doing it together, you're all part of this community, and then you're getting all the benefits that you would be having like a personal trainer and having that guidance there, which is awesome. So that was kind of initially why we went to that instead of seeing a personal trainer in person, because it's flexible. We're able to do it whether we work out at home, at a gym, while we're traveling. It's just an option that we can have literally in our pockets on our phone. So, okay. And like I said, when I was doing my workouts before, I thought I was being consistent. But it's one of those things where when you're not tracking something properly, or if you're not like having someone who's there to keep you accountable, you realize how much you actually skip out on yourself. It was kind of crazy. Like there would be so many days where I would sleep in. I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to do my workout tomorrow. It's fine. And then lo and behold, 5 days pass and suddenly you haven't done a workout in 5 days and you're like, oh, what the heck? And in your mind, you're like, I'm so consistent. I work out all the time. I never skip my workouts. And then when you look at it, you're like, oh. So having the app to kind of like check off and keep you straight, you're like, oh, consistency really is key. You know, I need to be a little bit more consistent with those, because I never used to be able to pull up my body weight, and that is a feat. It is a skill that you must be consistent with, or you lose it. I was repping pull-ups last year, and then I stopped doing it consistently after the last program, and now we're back to square one, back to assisted pull-ups, and let me tell you, by the end of the program, I'm going to be back to repping those, okay? We're going to bring it back. But just speaking of consistency, when you bring strength training into your life and you do begin to be consistent with it, it is insane the changes that happen in your body, like physically, the look of your body, but also the changes that you feel in your strength. Like I remember the first time I did the program and I had gone back to an F45 class, and it was the first time in my life that I could randomly, like I wasn't training tricep push-ups, but I remember doing a tricep push-up in the class and suddenly I could do it. I literally laid on the floor and wanted to start crying. Like it was such a cool thing to like feel strong, and it makes you feel so capable and confident in so many different areas in your life. And doing a tricep push-up, doing my first pull-up, like I can't tell you like how much of a superhero that you feel. Like I feel like you can do anything. Like when you get so much belief in yourself and your body. I don't really know how else to explain it. But yeah, going back to the confidence video, like you just walk different, you stand different, your posture improves. Like there's just so many things that it adds into, and so many different areas that it attaches into your life versus just the physical aesthetic treat. That's just a little cherry on top, but the trickle down effect into every other piece of your life. Like I can't recommend strength training enough. And obviously, like, we're doing the program. And so if you've never done it before, this is like the perfect way to kind of like force yourself into going into the world of strength training and consistency and doing it and seeing how much of a change 12 weeks can actually bring into your life, because it's crazy. Anyway, I'm putting off my set. Burb. Having the mic on me is a really good reminder to breathe in between my reps. So in between my sets, I'm just going to my app and plugging in my reps and my weights. And again, it's so nice. Like, the app is basically like my best friend. It's one of my favorite parts. But you will get the DIY Body app, and it has your whole weekly schedule and everything on here, and it keeps track of your weights that you're lifting. So the next time you go to do it, you have all the information that you need. And honestly, like, pressing start on the workout, having the timer just kind of makes me do it more. You know, I'm not like following a workout video. You can still do it at your own pace if you need more rest and whatnot, but it does have your rests and your breaks timed, which is awesome. And yeah, long live the app. And each exercise also has a video that will tell you how to do it and show the proper form. If you're new to an exercise or new to working out, it's nice to be able to check in on those and make sure that your form is correct. And then you'll see yours truly there demonstrating each of the exercises for you. And on the more complicated moves, we also have a few of the coaches who are helping out with proper cues and making sure that you're doing it correctly, which is great. And then if you don't have a piece of equipment, there's a substitute option. So if you find yourself traveling, if you're working out at a home gym and you just don't have as much equipment as you normally do, you can always substitute and add something else. It's always sad when we're traveling and we go to a hotel gym and it doesn't have a lat pull down. You're like, well, all right, you can always just do like standing bent over rows. Like, there's substitutes that you can do, but just to say, there is a library of exercises on the app that you can always substitute if you don't have a particular piece of machinery, and that's okay. Another warm-up before our next set. But I will say that when you're starting out with weight training, I find it's actually very common. I've noticed this a lot. I noticed it with myself and other people who I've spoken to, but a lot of people focus on the weights, and it's kind of like a numbers game where you're like, I want to be so strong, I want to push as heavy weights as possible, but I can't express to you enough that the number doesn't matter. That what matters is that you're doing the exercise properly. So if you need to go and do the lightest weight possible to make sure that you are doing the exercise properly, that is more important than anything. And I often deload, especially if there is a time where I haven't been as consistent, like right now with my lateral raises. But it's also because my form was kind of off. I was really going out to the side like this, and that can work. It can be a little bit different. But right now, I really want to focus on getting those Rosie Huntington Whiteley boulder shoulders, okay? And so I have gone down in weight, no problem. I'm starting back from the beginning, and I am making sure that my form is looking good over everything. So don't worry about the numbers. Do what you got to do to make sure that your exercise is being done properly. Like these lateral raises, for example, a lot of the times I'm pulling it in my neck and I'm lifting with my traps, and Anna was really sweet and trying to help me make sure that I get it right into the shoulders, and I'm still struggling with it. I need a mirror. Again, if I need to go down in weight and make sure that I'm doing the proper form, that is the key. One of the craziest takeaways that I learned in this entire journey was how interesting it was, like how I used to think about workouts. Like I used to equate a good workout with how exhausted I felt and how sweaty I would be after a workout. And I feel like that's such a huge misconception with like group classes and group fitness and high intensity and just cardio all the time. Like if I left a workout and I wasn't dripping in sweat and making a puddle, I'd be like, oh, I didn't have a good workout today. And then you look at, I've just done my upper body day and here I am. Leg days, that's a different story, okay? But yeah, this would have never been considered a good workout in my old life. And now I'm like, oh, my arms have a pump. We are ready. We're rocking. I had a fantastic workout. It doesn't mean that I didn't work out my body. It's such a funny thing, this idea that I had, and so many of us do. Now, when it comes to the program, this was something that I was terrified about. Like if you had ever asked me if I would track my food, count my macros, count calories, weigh it all out. I know that that's a very sensitive subject. We've talked about it at length on my channels before. And whenever I've talked about like my meal prep videos, obviously you have to do what you're comfortable with in your life. But at the end of the day, I knew nothing about food and nutrition and about the things that I was eating. I had never paid mind to protein or eating enough carbohydrates, tracking my fiber. Like, I mean, we came from this like millennial world where we thought carbs were evil. And it's just like, obviously we've learned so much about food along the way as we've done the program, and how I look at food and nutrition and food as fuel is so different than how I used to think about it. And the meal plan can be super scary and daunting at first, especially if you've never done any kind of tracking in your life. But I think it's important to know what you are consuming and knowing what you're putting into your body, and knowledge is power. And also the good old saying, you are what you eat, is such a real thing. And obviously if you're a little bit more sensitive to food, or if you have specific sensitivities like I do, there were just so many parts of my life that I refused to acknowledge were due to the fact that I had a bad diet. And I say bad as in like bad for me. Like I just refused to change anything about my diet previously. And now I just love food so much, and I love making my food taste really, really good, and marrying those two worlds of tasting really, really good and also being really good for you is just, it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. I love meal prepping. I love playing house. I love eating delicious food. Like, it's all so fun. And the more I learn, the more kind of excited I get about it, and playing around and doing lots of different delicious recipes. And I think you can choose to look at like a challenge or something like the program or tracking your food in two different ways. You can look at it as, oh my gosh, I'm going to learn so much, and I'm going to eat really amazing food that's going to fuel me and get me through my workouts and give me energy throughout my day. Or you can look at it as, this is so sad and this is going to make me hate food. And like, I just have definitely looked at it the other way. And now I kind of look at everything differently. Like, I don't get as excited about like my favorite junk food as I used to. Like, I couldn't go through a week without thinking about like a Dairy Queen Blizzard before. Or I would just like crave pasta. Like, I would just want to crush pasta and pizza all the time. Like, it doesn't happen anymore. Now I feel like I sound so lame, but I really do. Like, I crave good food. And every once in a while, if I do travel or I do have nights out, like, I now am at the point where I look forward to eating food that makes me feel good. And that's progress, okay? I've done 1,000 meal prep videos before. I've showed you guys some of my favorite recipes. I will happily continue to do so, but for the most part, your body and your gut love routine. They love good, healthy food. And if you can make that taste delicious, then you're off to the races. Oh, it's the last scoop of the goat meal. Oh my God. Oh, goat meal. I love you so. I also think it's really funny whenever I talk about healthy food and everyone's like, protein powder. I know. Let me have one thing, okay? I eat this because it tastes so delicious. The blueberry muffin protein powder is insane. But sometimes if I feel like I want to, be more clean with it, I would just put a little bit of protein powder in here just for the flavor. And then I would have like eggs on the side. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have scrambled eggs. Sometimes I have hard-boiled eggs. Whatever I'm craving that day. Today, I wanted something sweet. So I put the protein powder in. All right, now we got to talk about the steps, my friends. I live for my steps. I live for my walks. And, I look back to my old life where you wouldn't catch me dead going for a walk. When we moved to Toronto, we started doing like our walks to and from the mall. And that was kind of like our enjoyment. And we used to walk to our spin classes, and it was so nice. And, it's really stayed a part of our life every day. And it feels like it warms your entire body up. It gets your heart rate elevated if you walk fast. I'm definitely a speed walker. And I just live for my walks. And on a beautiful, sunshiny weekend morning like this, I'm absolutely going outside and doing my steps outside. And the program has a step goal. That's just all there is to it. And it has a huge, huge difference on your day and how you feel and how your body moves. And I just, get to walking, my friends. Walks and steps bring joy to your day. And if you can get outside in nature and do it at the same time, What a beautiful combination. Now, getting your steps in when you're doing a challenge or setting yourself a goal, it can be really hard. And I would very much suggest trying to do as many steps in the morning as you possibly can. Because by the time you reach the end of your day, you're tired, you're ready for bed, and you have like 1,000 more steps. You're like, oh my gosh, and you're just running around your house trying to get them. But if you can section off some time like this, if there's any chance for you to get outside, it's a beautiful part of the day. It's something that you kind of dread when trying to reach a certain number, but if you can just block off some time to get some dedicated nature walks, it's so nice, and it ends up being the part of your day that you look forward to the most. And it can be really hard when you have super busy days, but when you're kind of focused on the overall goal of moving more, you start to just make little changes in your day and you see how much it adds up. Like parking at a further section in a parking lot and maybe doing an extra lap around the mall or Costco or the grocery store, and you just start to kind of shift your mindset to just having more movement throughout your day, and then it automatically just becomes a habit, becomes something that you do, and again, something that you just look forward to and breathe in some fresh air. We don't get many of these sunny days in the winter, so again, I'm taking it in. It's freaking freezing, Mr. Wrigglesworth. I should have put a toque on. All right, guys, but we're cutting our walk short this morning because I gotta go to yoga. Now, this would be a great time to touch on routine guilt, okay? Because I know it can seem like a lot, and especially if you're new to this and like making changes to your life, it can feel sometimes so exhausting, and you're like, how do I fit everything in? And depending on what you've got going on, depending on your lifestyle, depending on your schedule, like some things are going to fall short. There's going to be sacrifices somewhere. Like maybe you're sacrificing some late nights to get your steps in. On days like today where I've got my like 8-hour yoga courses, like I'm going to be exhausted tonight. I'm going to sleep like a rock. I'm definitely going to probably be packing some extra caffeine with me, and it's not ideal, but I'm doing my best to get as many steps in as I can, trying to keep up with my workout routines. And sometimes it's going to fall short. Sometimes you have long travel days, sometimes you have long work days, some of you have children. Like I can't even speak to those of you who have kids and are trying to do all the things, but you just have to make the changes to your life that make you feel the best and do what you can. And sometimes life gets in the way, and that's so fine. Sometimes we have later nights, and we're all just trying to do the best that we can. But it's very important to do your best to like not feel guilty about it. You never want to get to a point where you're like being so rigid with something that it starts to eat at you and cause you stress and cause you guilt. All of these things are meant to be added to your life to make you feel better and stronger. And we're all just doing the best that we can, okay? So today, I might be cutting my steps short. We'll see how I feel after my course tonight, if I can get some steps in before bed. But like I said, today is a busier day than usual. We're doing some extra filming this morning, and we're all just doing the best that we can. Okay, I changed, put a fresh little wave of makeup on. I've been trying to do a little bit of something before I go to yoga, but I'm going to pack up my lunch and dinner because I need both for while I'm gone for the day. This is where like meal prepping ahead of time really helps. Actually, what could have really helped me, I think, is had I totally just packed up all my lunches before, I wouldn't be sprinting to get all ready now. But meal prepping makes your, you know what, I'm just going to have all that chicken. Great. Meal prepping saves you. Meal prepping makes your life so much easier. Sorry, I forgot the main ingredient. I can't go on without my tzatziki. Yeah. Doing this ahead of time just saves me so much time, but also it allows me to still eat the nutritious and delicious foods that I want to be eating, and makes going out and stopping at McDonald's a lot less tempting, which is great. Don't look at my carrots. I burnt the carrots, okay? Actually, the sweet potatoes looking kind of burnt too. I threw a salmon in the oven because this only takes 15 minutes to cook. Blessed be. And then Dan has one for lunch too. Look at that. Okay, I've got my salmon. Delicious. We've got our chicken. Oh, I forgot sauerkraut. Pfft, hello? Don't sleep on sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is so delicious. I've got a protein bar in my bag. I've got an apple for a snack. I've got my caffeine. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't talk and do this at the same time. I forgot my chili crisp. It's too late for that now. All right, those are my meals, ready to go. Nothing to it but to do it, baby. Yeah, I gotta go to yoga. Love you, bye. Listen, guys, I got home from yoga. did my steps. I am absolutely cooked. It is so time for bed. Good night, Meryl. And folks, before bed, we get ready to do it all again tomorrow. This is actually something I wish I had mentioned in my habits video, because something that I absolutely do every single time without fail is pull my items out the night before, and that just makes mornings and busier times a little bit easier. And you might be like, all you're doing is pulling your stuff out. It seems like it's just that, but when you're prepared and you wake up in the morning and you gotta hit your workout, you're going to get your steps, just removing pieces of thinking out of your day is so nice, and it makes all the difference. Don't underestimate the power of just pulling your things out. It's good. And then when you wake up and you're tired and you just want to go and do your workout, it's there. It's ready for you. Ready. Listen, we didn't make our bed this morning. Like I said, it's a busy day. It was a busy day. But that's it. In essence, it's the program. The program, we made it in an effort to make all of these things, make all of these daily habits just a natural part of your day. And it does get easier, and it's so fun, and I'm so excited that we're doing it again. And I just have to say that this is the one and only program that we're running this year. This is the one and only in 2026, and one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we got from the last two was that it wasn't long enough. The people wanted more, so that's why instead of 8 weeks this time, we are doing 12 weeks. And that's just, it gives a little bit more time for it to stick and for you to kind of see the results, and it gives more time to be with the community and kind of keep that fun going. And I'm so excited. We have a ton of Recovery Day events planned. We're doing Toronto, Vancouver, Chicago, New York, LA. We're doing live group Zoom calls. We have a ton of giveaways, all while having so much fun and just becoming the stronger and better versions of ourselves. And yeah, it's gonna be 12 weeks. So fun, from February 2nd to April 26th. It's gonna be crazy. You're gonna get the DIY Body app. You'll have all your workouts. You'll have daily goals. You'll have your step goals. You get a meal plan. We have our little cutie program Facebook group, and yeah, it's just such a good time. It's going to be wild. And also I think this timing is like perfect, kind of heading into the spring and heading into the summer. And, you know, you kind of just enter that season feeling amazing. And it kind of makes the dreary winter days go by a little bit faster, and it gives you something to look forward to and work towards. So I'm really excited, and this was my very, very true, somewhat boring, I suppose, day in the life. These are some of the things that I do, kind of program style, some of my healthy habits and tidbits, and fitting some things in. So I will say again, if you wanted to register to join this round, the registration closes on January 28th, and we officially start on February 2nd. So now's your last chance. I'm going to put the link in the description box down below for you to sign up. And for those of you who are just here for the ride, you're just going to join in with us in the YouTube side, hang out with the fam, then you guys know I'll be vlogging lots as we go along. And I'm going to be I have my own goals for this program, and I'm going to be pretty vocal about it. We're going hard, okay? First of all, we have 2 different workout splits. It's going crazy. Dawn and I shook hands. We're like, this time around, we're going in. We are pushing ourselves. We're going harder than we ever have before, seeing how strong we can get, seeing how I want my muscles popping, you know, getting that booty popping. I'm so excited, you guys. That was my day. I am going to go to bed. I love you all so much, and I hope that you have a beautiful sleep and a beautiful day, and happy almost program to you. And thank you so much for being here and for watching. I'll see you all very soon for a new video. Bye! My step count for the day, 11,400 steps.